Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Lute Croy.
And I'm Grant Bergman, and we'd like to welcome you to the first edition of the Chronicles, your weekly rundown of what's going on in the world.
Our top news story tonight centers around Joe Exotic, the beloved zoo owner from Wynnewood, Oklahoma. The man known as the Tiger King is now being quarantined after being transferred from his cell in Oklahoma to a federal prison in Texas. When asked about how long he'd have to be isolated in response to coronavirus concerns, the warden replied, "Oh no, that has nothing to do with this. It's because he's from Oklahoma. I mean, you saw the inside of his house on the show, right? Anybody that's ever been in that place definitely needs to be quarantined for some time."
I even think the tornado that he was riding away with in episode 3 or 4 was going away from him for maybe the same reasons.
It was disgusting.
Yeah.
I'll just leave that there.
Speaking of Joe Exotic, O.J. Simpson took to the Twitters on Wednesday to weigh in on the Tiger King. In his video, he shares his expert opinion in the subject, saying, "There's not a doubt in my mind that the lady's husband is Tiger Sashimi right now." Really, OJ?
I mean, really. Really. While we're on the topic of O.J. Simpson, let's take a look at this week in sports. Oh, wait. There is one bit of sports action that I want to make sure that we get to that I saw this week. Last week, some RHS staff members took to the Twitters to share their inspirational messages with their students. Let's take a look at 3 of them. Up first, we've got Coach Smith.
Hey Lions, miss you guys like crazy. Basketball boys, softball girls, all my students, miss seeing y'all every day. Hope we can get back to normal soon. Let's go! Okay.
What do you think about that, Grant?
You know, it was entertaining. I think the degree of difficulty was up there. I do think also that almost as entertaining was the small, short Twitter beef initiated by Coach Stone afterward.
I mean, if those of you who are unaware, Coach Stone was openly questioning the height of that goal.
I mean, and then, of course, Coach Smith responded and almost in a challenging defensive mode. So there remains to be seen with Coach Nairn jumping in there as well where this leads.
It could get interesting.
Yeah, it could.
Moving on.
On our next Twitter's event we want to showcase, let's check in with Mrs. Hernandez.
Hey, Reedy Lions. This is Mrs. Hernandez here. Wanted to send out a quick shout out to you guys that let you know that we miss you. We miss your faces. We miss your conversations. We miss your stories. In the meantime, we want you guys to stay healthy, take care of yourself, go outside, exercise, kind of like what I'm doing right now. Do your work, more importantly. Reach out to your teachers. We are here for you all the time. Let us know what we can do for you. And we can't wait to see you guys soon. Roar, Lions, roar!
Little known fact, Mr. Croy, Miss Hernandez is a guru on the inline skates. She actually has a history and as a former, and I say this, Miss Hernandez, so apologize if I'm not up to date, but was in an actual roller derby and was part of a team. And for you guys that don't know, her position, for lack of a better term, was the jammer. So if you need more information on that, I would Google maybe go into YouTube and search for roller derby and see what Miss Hernandez, did for, a lot of her free time back in the day.
I was unaware of that, but you can tell, like, she's been on some skates because she was doing that while holding her phone and didn't miss a beat.
I mean, it's almost like you develop a new appreciation for Miss Hernandez, and because what she does, in the classroom and for our campus is immeasurable. But when you see something like that, you think, man, she's the Swiss Army knife of this campus. So kudos to you, Miss Hernandez.
Absolutely. Now, we saw Coach Smith, but there's one more thing that I want to point out. We have our own Mr. Grant Bergman's video here. Let's take a look.
Hello again, Reedy High School. This is Mr. Bergman. I find myself in the middle of my street wearing some nonsensical outfit that doesn't make any sense. Please don't judge. I'm hoping to be able to see your faces again sometime before the school year's out, rolling up and down those hallways of Reedy High School. In the meantime, as I work on my broke shot, take care of your family, stay safe, and roar Lions roar.
Wow. That's all I can say, Grant. I mean, the outfit, you look like Cousin Eddie from Christmas Vacation. It was impressive. Rocking the Bills gear on the robe. And you sunk the shot.
I mean, let's just be honest here, Lute. How many takes do you think that took?
I mean, I'd love to say one, but I'm going to say it was more than that.
It was more than that. There was the cold front had just hit. My daughter was complaining about, being cold. She was behind the camera, and let's just say that was take probably number 6, about number 6. And so I did the math on the twits and got my percentage. My shooting percentage was at 16% from that distance, which was legitimately about 20 feet. But the goal was set at about 8.5. So it's nothing to call home about. It's nothing to put on my tombstone, but I gave it a go.
I feel like you started the whole craze, though. I think you did that, and I think Coach Smith then had to respond. He thought, man, that's a great idea. How can I top that? And he did.
Well, I'm glad, because at my age and my lack of athletic ability, I probably reached my limits with that shot. Now I'm going to let the young bucks go ahead and take it to the next level.
I like where you're at. It's good.
Thank you. All right, so we're going to take a break, and we'll be right back for a special treat, a special guest.
I'm fired up.
Welcome back to the Corona Chronicles. Ladies and gentlemen, we are certainly lucky to have a celebrity on this week's broadcast. Let's bring on tonight's guest. He is a real fan favorite. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up and a warm round of applause for Mr. Brad Lagrone. Hey, Brad, certainly a pleasure to see you again. How's your Corona break been treating you, sir?
Been okay, I guess. Staying pretty busy, answering emails. I mean, working, and yeah, staying pretty busy.
That's outstanding. I can see that boat hasn't been out in a while, but hoping that you get to use that as much as you can, sir.
It's ready. It's ready. Gassed up. Ready. It's ready.
All right. Well, if you don't mind.
Rude. I would have offered you a drink of water, but I don't think I could get it there. So normally we would be good hosts, but we can't do that tonight. So
brought my water today.
Perfect.
Well, we're Mr. Lagrone, we're going to put you on the hot seat, sir. We have some interview questions we'd like you to take part in. So answer honestly, and let's see if we can just kind of dig deep into the mind of the legendary Brad Lagrone.
Good.
First, what is the first thing you tell an alien that landed on Earth?
To go back where it came from right now. That now's not a good time to take over. Something else already has.
Very good. Very good. I really like that answer.
I'm feeling really good about that.
I'm a science teacher.
No, fair.
That is fair.
Okay. All right. Brad, what is your claim to fame?
That I have the ability to irritate my wife all day, every day, as many times as I need to. My goal every day is to generate 10 to 12 eye rolls, and I get, this time I'm right around 75 to 100 before lunch.
Is it just your mere existence?
Mostly me asking her for tech advice, asking her to quit yelling at the Zooms. She is also a teacher, and she thinks that if she talks as loud as possible, that it'll get there faster.
Well, thank you, Mr. Crown. That's an outstanding answer.
Yeah, she's in the house, in case you're wondering. She's in the house.
Okay, that's good. That's really good, actually. All right, Mr. Lagrone, will you fill in the blank here? When I hear blank sing, I want to punch myself in the face.
When I hear blank sing,
Who makes you want to punch yourself in the face when you hear them sing?
There's a lot of things right now that make me want to punch myself. When I hear blank sing, I don't want to throw my wife under the bus again, so I'll say my kids, because that's really all that I hear right now. That's it. All three of them. That's all.
I love the honesty.
Thank you.
I do. And Mel's probably going to see this, so it was probably good that you shifted gears right there.
Thanks. And you guys told me that this was a closed circuit TV, so.
Yeah, that's what we meant.
Sorry.
It's just for the three of us. Don't worry about it. It's going to be fine.
Thank you.
All right, Brad. You're going to have to go way back in your memory banks here. What's the reason that you were last spanked by your parents?
The reason I was last spanked by my parents. Oh man. I don't know. To be honest, I didn't get spanked. I grew up in the country and we got like work punishment.
Hey, fair enough. Yeah, fair enough.
Fair.
Yeah, that's fair. More than fair.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. All right. I get the pleasure of asking you, Mr. Lagrone, one more fill in the blank question. Are you ready?
I love these. Yeah, these were fun.
I will go to my grave without ever eating blank again, or just blank.
Oh yeah, like we could go beets, we could go meat off the bone. I don't like that.
Interesting.
Right now I'm pretty much over chicken, but I'm sure I'll have to come back to it. Asparagus falls in there. Turnips, never had them. They look weird, sound weird. Radish, I'm gonna go there with that. How is this just one blank or?
No, you filled it up.
Yeah, that was.
I mean, I've got more.
I didn't expect you to rattle off quite so many so quickly.
Well, that's just like the ones that came to me first. I've got a list.
Are you
in the house? Yeah, pretty. Yeah, I'm pretty picky. It generates eye rolls, so
I did not see that coming. Yeah, I would roll my eyes at you too. Okay, shifting gears to the next question. What one item would you request if you were stranded on a deserted island?
What one item would I request? Family show.
Family show. I appreciate you taking that into consideration.
Yeah. Oh man. Water.
It's fair because most likely you're not going to have access to it.
I mean, there goes his science background again too. I love it.
Right? Like, let's be practical. Of course, water. Okay.
All right. Once again, guys, you are with us on the Corona Chronicles. We are talking to legendary educator Brad Lagrone. Brad, who wins in a street fight? Sasquatch, Yeti, or the Loch Ness monster?
Oh man, probably Sasquatch.
I mean, do the other two just have obvious weaknesses, or is it just obvious that this is the guy?
Well, I'm going to go Loch Ness. He's not going to come out of the water, and Sasquatch isn't going to go in there. You know, like that fight just isn't going to happen. And Yeti, I feel like he's going to lose the camouflage advantage because the Bigfoot has been so good at evading everybody. He's not going to go up into, you know, the snowy environment. So I think it'll be over before it starts.
Like guerrilla warfare tactics. I like it.
Yep. Science guy. I love it. You know, Brad, a minute ago, he told you we were out of fill in the blank questions. He just didn't look down the rest of the list. I have another one for you here.
That's correct.
Thanks.
I got to preface this question though. Have you watched The Tiger King yet?
No, we don't have Netflix.
Oh my gosh. Have you at least seen pictures of The Tiger King?
Yeah, a couple. Looks like he's from my hometown.
I mean, he's pretty close to being from my hometown.
Are you from Pilot Point?
No, but it's not much different.
Okay.
Well, we might not get what we're looking for here, but
okay, sorry.
No, it's okay.
We can go to the next one if you want to, Mr. Croy.
Oh, it's okay. Let's just see. Let's just see how it goes. Okay. All right, fill in the blank here, Brad. Joe Exotic, the Tiger King, is a blank.
Hero.
Thank you. Thank you.
We're supposed to be unbiased here, but that's a good answer.
It's a good
Thank
answer.
you.
Thank you, Brad. Speaking of the Tiger King, Brad,
Yes,
fill
sir.
in the blank on this statement.
Okay.
A Netflix documentary, or just a documentary for those of you guys who don't have Netflix. If there's a documentary about you, it would be called The Blank King. Fill in the blank.
Man, probably. Well, these are really good questions.
Thank you.
I'm not really a king. I don't know. Probably the PLC king.
Yes.
That's awesome.
I was going to
Great
go
answer.
5 seed badges king.
I thought about that one too, but I didn't want to rub in the rest of the science people's face who haven't gotten it yet.
Wow.
Yeah. And there's a chance that your appraiser and Mr. Z are going to watch this too. So that was a really good answer.
Oh, thanks. I didn't give that any thought.
Oh, yeah. You're welcome. Okay, Brad, last question here. This one's a hot topic in some circles. Not necessarily in my circles, but in some circles.
Okay.
Is Batman a superhero?
Whew. Yeah. Let's say yeah, because he helps others, right? I don't know the real answer though. Like all of you that I've just offended, I apologize. I don't know. I wouldn't debate this topic.
Ironic, the shirt you're wearing, that you do have to answer that question. That's just the irony is pretty cool.
It's the one that I put on when I'm at home, just so everyone in the house knows my role in our home.
Brad Lagrone, it has been an absolute pleasure having you on this week's edition of the Corona Chronicles. We wish you all the best. Stay safe. Keep your family safe. And thanks again for stopping by.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir.
Enjoy.
Yes. Let's take another break from the Corona Chronicles, and we'll be back shortly. And welcome back, Lions. Are you struggling to find things to do while you are social distancing from home? Here's a thought. Why not help your parents take a few minutes to respond to the 2020 census? Now, at last news report, 2/3 of Americans have not even filled this thing out. And I know some people are opposed to it, but it's in the Constitution. In the Constitution, Article 1, Section 2 says we need to count everybody every 10 years so we can distribute resources and get our elections, set equally for its population. So visit my2020census.gov for more information. It's a riveting 10 minutes of your day that we'd be glad that you accounted for.
Have you done your census yet?
Yes.
I did mine. I did it yesterday.
That's good.
They sent like 5 of these to my house.
One for each person that lives there over the age of 10.
That's why I got one that's unopened, because I'm like, oh, this would be great.
Oh, that is cool. I like that.
All right. We're going to give a quick shout out here to our ACDEC team for their outstanding performance at the state ACDEC competition. The last time we were all together in March, these students and their teachers went down to San Antonio to compete. They finished in the top 40 among all 5A and 6A schools, and they finished 8th overall in the medium schools division. More importantly, as Ms. Schrantz pointed out in her email to the staff, we unofficially finished first place in fun. Congratulations to those students and those teachers.
Congratulations, students and coaches. Outstanding job.
Outstanding. In other news, wait, so I'm still here? Okay. In other news, prices at the pump have fallen dramatically in the last month as Russia and Saudi Arabia have flooded the market with oil. We've seen gas prices here in Frisco as low as $1.27 in the last week. It's unfortunate that we can't take advantage of the low prices, as my wife informed me yesterday that since we've been social distancing, our car is now getting about 4 weeks to the gallon.
Good job, Lute.
Yeah, thanks.
Before we leave the air tonight, we thought it'd be a great idea to take a moment to recognize some of the cool things that have happened this week in history. Number 1, the World Trade Center opened in New York City in 1973, replacing the Empire State Building as the world's tallest buildings.
That's crazy, right? We went from tallest building in the world to the tallest buildings at the same time.
I mean, that's a straight flex by New York City.
No question. No question. 1975, Microsoft was founded.
And thanks to Bill Gates and the Microsoft Corporation, I'm on my Surface doing this broadcast.
Same. Same.
Good. The musical Oklahoma premieres on Broadway in 1943. Now, Mr. Croy, I've never been to a Broadway musical, but if I am going to attend one, that's number one on the list.
There's no question. I mean, that's the one. How many times have you sang the song in your life?
Singing's a bad term. I've rumbled it and I've mumbled it. Did they get the state song of Oklahoma from the Broadway play, or did Oklahoma exist before the Broadway play?
So the state existed, but I'm sure they got the song from Rodgers and Hammerstein.
Okay, I'm going with you on this one. I'm going with you on this one.
All right, this is a big nugget right here. 1973, the first mobile phone call was made in New York City.
Who do you think made the call, and who were they calling?
So they actually had that information. I neglected to take the note, but it was a guy who worked for one of those places and called the other guy at the other place.
Great job doing research, Mr. Croy. I guess I was trying to lead you to some random answer like, hey, calling to order some New York style pizza, but that bummed. And let's do a fifth here, Mr. Croy, if you don't mind. This week in history, in 1994, head coach Jimmy Johnson leaves the Dallas Cowboys.
Sad day for us. Sad day for the Cowboys fans. I think there were some people that didn't really like Jimmy Johnson. And while Switzer did win a Super Bowl, it's been downhill ever since Jimmy left. I mean, let's be honest.
Yeah, there's no doubt. And I know there's still a little rift there between Jerry and Jimmy. But going back to your earlier comment, when you say us, Mr. Croy, there's a pretty good chance that not everybody in the Reedy High School staff is a fan of the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, there's a good chance, but that's not important.
Go Bills.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. All right. Well, there you have it, folks. That's all we have this evening. Thanks for joining us tonight. Be sure to tune in next week for another edition of the Corona Chronicles. We'll see you guys later.
Stay safe.